strange sighting is baffling Hill Country Village residents tonight. This creature was caught on camera at a Northside neighborhood.
My immediate thought is it's a raptor or some type of a dinosaur, the way that it's running.
Holy sh**.
6:30, it has not let up at all. It is coming down pretty steadily here.
This guy had no respect for the judge, obviously.
The very fear of darkness and shadows in the wilderness can sometimes prove to be just as scarier, if not more, than what anyone could have ever perceived them to be.
That's a pig!
Join us to get to see some of the most astonishing trail camera footage that left even the most experts puzzled.
That's a pig!
Just by the first glance itself, you can know this looks nothing much like out of the ordinary. A driver was passing through a forest late at night, where his path got crossed with this abnormal-looking wild animal. Despite looking at it carefully several times, he was not able to identify or make of what animal class or species it belonged to. Its face and legs looked like it was a boar, but with a body of some wild bull. But at the same time was a bit too small to be a bull, or even a calf. The only possible explanation is that it was a deformed animal, but its grassroots species is a mystery.
That's a pig!
Twisted deer neck. The distressing aspect of this situation is the prolonged suffering endured by the deer. A resident of St. Mary's, Idaho, recorded footage on April 5, 2019, revealing a deer with a twisted neck, suggesting a long-standing injury. Despite the unclear cause of its condition, sightings of the deer accompanied by its offspring have persisted in the area for over 4 years. While it's plausible that an accident led to its neck injury, the deer appears to have adapted and continued to navigate its environment.
She's had babies and everything. Look at it.
Nightstalker. This Aussie guy was just out for a relaxing night stroll with his cat when he saw something totally out of this world. As he chatted away with his feline friend, he noticed a head in the distance. Zooming in, he realized it was an alien-like creature in a black cloak. Seeing the guy, the thing vanished, but then reappeared with a red light pointing at the man's house, like it was signaling its comrades. The guy rushed over, but nothing, it was gone. Running back home, the red light was back, aimed right at him. What was it? Who knows? Let's hope those aliens didn't decide to move in.
No fucking way. No fucking way.
Backyard mystery.
In her own backyard, a woman finds a creature but has no idea what this thing is.
In Titusville, a woman named Kelly Gearhan stumbled upon a bizarre creature in her backyard.
It doesn't even look like something I've ever seen.
Totally stumped, and she did what we all do, took to social media for answers. The media got a hold of this crazy story, and now everyone in Central Florida couldn't stop talking about it. This weird animal had a skinny tail, a strange head, and a huge jaw. Kelly's boyfriend was the first to see it and thought it was a dog. But wildlife officials said it was a possum. Not everyone was buying it though. The debate was heating up online, but the truth is still a mystery. Let's just hope it's nothing scarier than we think. What do you think it could be? A possum or something even weirder? Stalking Shadow. On December 12, 2023, a Cork, Ireland resident walking through the woods spotted a shadowy cloaked figure peering from behind a tree. Expecting wildlife, he readied his camera, but what he encountered seemed unearthly. Resembling the Grim Reaper, it stood ominously. As he approached, it remained still until, with one step too far, it vanished behind the tree without a trace. Initially mistaken for a tree component, Its eerie disappearance left an unsettling impression. The encounter, shrouded in mystery, lingered in the recorder's mind, evoking questions of the supernatural in the tranquil woods of Cork. Bearded crawler. On an exploring trip in India, a group of friends faced an unexpected terror. Alongside the road, they encountered a bald, skinny, bearded crawler, its posture aggressive, on all fours with an arched back. Clearly non-human, it instilled horror in the group, especially given the late hour and deserted road. Adding to their fear were the creature's intense, unrelenting stares with menacing eyes. The cryptid-like being left them baffled and frightened, its nature and intentions impossible to discern. Forest haunt.
Чувак, давай здесь остановимся. Обязательно. За место. Выйдем сейчас с тачки.
Curiosity in the woods can lead to nightmares, and be careful where you wander, especially after watching this clip from a group of hikers in Russia. Their documentary started off innocently enough as they drove into an eerie forest, but things quickly turned dark. They found skulls with horns and bones hanging from trees, all marked with satanic symbols. During the night, they heard unsettling noises and found bird feathers mixed with bones around their site. Their curiosity led them to more disturbing finds. Strange necklaces and light bulbs drenched in red liquid. It resembled a cultist execution site. Let's just say this made them so terrified that they fled right away. Sometimes, some paths are best left unexplored. Jungle crawler. Encountering the unsettling jungle road crawler encapsulated the terror of traversing dense forests. Amidst navigating an Indian wilderness, a man stumbled upon the troubled figure obstructing his path. Described as a skeletal being with hair and a solemn countenance, the driver, gripped by fear, maintained a wary distance. Rain obscured clear vision, complicating attempts to scrutinize the crawler. Its advancing movements spurred the driver to swiftly retreat and seek an alternate route. The eerie encounter left an enduring unease, affirming the prudence of avoiding confrontation and opting for a safer path. Peeping Mummy? Commonly haunting figures such as this are known to chase under the night sky. This one took a different route. A recreational explorer in Kansas was returning to his cabin until he noticed that someone was peeping at him from the inside through the window. Though it clearly visualized to be in the shape of a person, but still was not properly identifiable. It wasn't until the hunter zoomed in to notice this perpetrator dressed in linen cloth very similar to the one used on mummies. Now, if this actually was a mummy or not, no one knows, since the explorer himself didn't want to take the risk and find out the hard way. Watching Sasquatch. No one knows what was the agenda of this Sasquatch to be staring like this while snowing, but it looked pretty serious. While in the midst of collecting dry firewood, a countryside resident in British Columbia, Canada, on December 17, 2021, spotted a giant hairy figure, which he believes to be a Sasquatch, that was staring at him for a long time. It was so focused on the endeavor that left the source concerned for his safety, especially since all of it was unprovoked. While the temperature dropped significantly and snow only started, that didn't seem to be a concern for this watching giant. Slithering horned mystery. Snakes are known to be the only slithering creatures of the wild. This one also seemed to have a pair of horns. An investor that was exploring around the area before purchasing the land discovered a visibly large snake that was moving about with a set of horns protruding out from the back of its head. Much of the viewers believe that this could have been the legs or wings of its prey that it must have been munching on, but the source disagreed of anything such as that to be the case. If this case is true, this snake specimen could be a one-of-a-kind. Spying Crypted. Human or not, it's almost like stalkers are common to be found in all intelligent life species. While clearing out an old family garage, a man, after hearing and seeing movement, sensed that he was being observed from a small hole in the wall. Now, even after being compromised clearly, the mysterious being remains fixated and motionless, seeing him until it decided to vanish abruptly. From its unrecognizable nature to what possible intentions it could have, curiosity and desperation of answers led to the footage being shared online. Though not much of this creature was seen, many are calling it a cryptid. Watching from bush. This watcher is not just behaving, but also looks very much like one of those uncontacted tribesmen. A TikTok user in Brazil shared this small clip showing the presence of a person that was hiding behind the sparse front lawn bush. It had a mix of white and black paint over its face that, along with the unruly behavior, left the TikToker convinced that this could in fact be one of the members of an uncontacted tribe that may have been lost. If this were true, approaching or being anywhere close to these people can often pose a safety risk. Juvenile Bigfoot's faith. For Bigfoot, who are the undefeated hide-and-seek champions of the world, this one seems to have a lot that he has yet to learn. In 2022, during the filming of a documentary in Radium Hot Springs, an extraordinary event unfolded. From amidst the dense tree line emerged the face of a giant, none other than the legendary Bigfoot, gazing directly into the camera lens. Its immense hairy visage bore strikingly human-like features. The subsequent release of this footage online ignited a flurry of speculation. Was it genuine or merely another elaborate hoax? Could this be the conclusive evidence enthusiasts have long sought? Only time will unravel the mystery, for truth often lurks in the most unexpected corners. Farmfield trespasser. Regardless of nature, a trespasser is never a good thing to come across. Two young farmers in India's Maharashtra province were trying to find answers as to the nature of animals that had been damaging their crops. While initially suspecting the perpetrator to have frog on its food chat, they gathered a few expired toads to use as bait, until they spotted their person of interest to be something that looks like a skinwalker. Now, although the sudden appearance and nature of something that looks like this would scare most away, it actually got them curious enough to chase it down and have a good look at it in person. Obese Bigfoot. Seems like it was only a matter of time until something like this was to come out, especially since it was in America. A hunter that was looking for a prize during the hunting season when he spotted this extremely thick-looking Bigfoot marching out in the open on the trail road. By the size and muscle on this thing, it clearly had no fear of being seen out in the open, but this record still had to take precautions and maintain safe distance. According to the hunter, this sighting was made only a couple of miles away from the nearest McDonald's. Human-skulled animal. If there was anything scarier than ghosts, spirits, or beasts, this could most probably be it. A wildlife enthusiast who, after purchasing his first trail camera, was excited to plant it in the woods. To his luck and surprise, he got more than what he bargained for when a bizarre-looking animal that had a human skull on top made an appearance while it was casually walking past by. Even though the footage wasn't much clear, it still created quite the dreaded-looking spectacle. It looks like even the wildest bunch of wild animals would prefer to keep their distance from such a thing. Unusually tall ape. Although commonly mistaken for Bigfoot or Sasquatch, eyewitnesses' accounts labeled it as an ape. Witnesses were awestruck by the sight of an exceptionally tall 12-foot primate roaming the verdant expanses of Virginia. Its otherworldly aspect was accentuated by the chimpanzee's remarkable bipedal locomotion, resembling that of a human. Despite its imposing stature and human-like gait, the creature exhibited solitary and non-aggressive behavior. Nonetheless, authorities issued warnings to residents and curious bystanders, urging them to avoid its vicinity due to the unpredictability of wild animals and potential hazards associated with close encounters. Passing ghost. The very disappearing and reappearing aspect of this entity says more than enough as to its nature. While out hiking in the wilderness of Colorado, one of the hikers that while filming accidentally filmed an entity that appeared out of the blue, walking casually seconds before it then disappeared. Hikers, though most didn't see it, the ones that did could only do so with their camera. The exact nature of it is not known, and it could be anything from a simple ghost, a spirit or soul of the dead, or perhaps even an invisible life form from the extra-dimensional universe. Landed alien exploring. While camping in the Brazilian woods, a camper's night took an eerie turn when he spotted movement in dense bushes. Concern for his comrade's safety, curiosity drove him to investigate. Anticipating a wild animal, he was shocked to encounter an alien figure traversing the woods. The creature's deliberate visibility suggested a potential trap, instilling a sense of caution. Prioritizing safety, the camper resisted temptation, opting for prudence in the face of the enigmatic and otherworldly encounter deep in the Brazilian wilderness. Treetop Mystery. This entity of unknown nature, despite being much smaller in size, didn't hesitate to hide itself on an elevated platform. A team of paranormal investigators that were checking out an open area in the wild after rumors of it having ghostly figures didn't find anything until they spotted this strange tiny figure watching them from treetop. It didn't make much or any moves, and with the pitch darkness that made identifying it almost impossible, its red eye, along with a partial body, was visible to the paranormal investigators. Skimpy alien couple. Even among aliens, these beings were peculiar. A small group, thin to the point of emaciation, was caught on a trail camera. One carried a juvenile resembling a makeshift family. Their gaunt forms as slender as dried twigs passed by, their gaze directed towards the camera. Amidst the backdrop of frequent UFO sightings, it appeared one had finally landed, granting a rare glimpse into its inhabitants. Provoked tunnel dweller. Venturing into forbidden realms is a common fascination for many curious souls. Yet, sometimes these journeys lead to unexpected encounters. In Spain, a group of young adults stumbled upon an abandoned tunnel near the city outskirts, drawn by rumors of its haunted reputation. Armed with flashlights and a GoPro, they delved inside, only to be startled by the appearance of a small yet intimidating entity. Panic ensued as they hastily retreated from the tunnel, their encounter shrouded in mystery, as no clear capture of the unknown dweller was obtained on camera. Wood Watcher. The forests have eyes and secrets, and this man found that in a hard way. A super dedicated camper who always posted videos on social media. He'd be out in the wild sharing all his cool adventures. But this particular video was something else. He was just wandering in the woods when he saw something really spooky. In the video, there was a deer, and behind it, a creepy red glowing face. The deer noticed it too. The man was not superstitious, but he swore there was nothing like that in those woods normally. Some people thought it might be a jack-o'-lantern, but he doubted it. The area was too remote for pranks. He decided it was best not to look further into it. Tooth Fairy. A mom of 3 and her kids were convinced they caught the Tooth Fairy on their Ring doorbell. Seriously, it really looked like the Tooth Fairy. This magical sighting has totally reignited the mom's belief in magic. The video went viral in no time. Some speculated it might just be a camera glitch or a trick of light, but many others were on the side of the mom, believing the existence of a tooth fairy. Seeing the footage, what do you believe it might be? A camera glitch or a real encounter with a tooth fairy? Share your thoughts down below. Road Riddle. This mysterious dashcam video had everyone online questioning their existence. A motorist was cruising down a busy 2-lane highway late at night. Everything was normal until a bus and a red SUV ahead slammed on their brakes. The SUV deviated and revealed something seriously creepy. At first, it looked like a small person standing in the middle of the road, but slowing down the footage showed it was not a person at all. It had pale skin and a huge head, looking just like an alien. Could it be an extraterrestrial trying to fit in? Skeptics thought it was staged. But seriously, how could someone stage something like that in the middle of a highway? River Phantom. There is a saying that the past never truly fades away, and these Cambodian paranormal investigators found that true. While investigating an infamous river edge, they spotted a man sitting at the water's edge, but something was seriously off. The figure was ghostly pale, and his face was unrecognizable. As the team got closer, the stranger vanished underwater, never to be seen again. The investigators believed they might have encountered the spirit of a man who took his own life on the riverbank, or maybe the boy who drowned in a flood. What do you think it could be? Could this be a restless spirit or something else entirely? Sometimes the answers are closer than we think. Snowy Encounter. This guy was exploring a snowy landscape, seemingly searching for something. As he panned his camera around, an unsettling sight emerged. A white creature appeared out of nowhere and startled him. We could only catch a brief glimpse before the phone dropped, but it was enough. The creature had a goat-like head and glowing eyes, standing eerily still as it faced the camera. Could this be an otherworldly being? Maybe an alien or even a sinister shape-shifting skinwalker? The identity of the creature is still unknown to this day, and I guess we will never know it for sure. Porch Creeper. Not everything that creeps is paranormal. Have a look at this doorbell camera footage from California. The video showed a strange humanoid figure approaching a porch, staring right into the camera. Its long, wiggling fingers and bulging eyes were super creepy. The figure made odd hand gestures for a full minute before darting away. It was definitely unsettling, especially since it happened in the middle of the night. It caused a massive stir online, with people debating if it was real or a hoax. Some believed it might be a real deal, but the experts pointed out that the unmoving pupils within those bulging eyes suggested a mask. So what do you think it might be, an elaborate hoax or something far more sinister? Forest Fright. A man was out in Nan Rivers Park, Canada, for an adventurous walk when he came across some animal droppings. Nothing out of the ordinary, right? But then he spotted a thick black hair on the ground that looked utterly non-human. Going further into the woods and capturing the scene around, he suddenly heard a distant sound, and he panned towards the source, only to catch a glimpse of a fur-covered creature. At first, it seemed casual, but as soon as it noticed the man, its demeanor turned aggressive, and it charged towards him. In that moment, his safety became the priority and bolted for his life. What happened to him is a bit of a mystery, but remember, no adventure is worth risking your safety. Alien Infant. There's this video going around on social media that was supposedly from Dulce, New Mexico base, and it was supposed to show a baby that looked like an alien. And let me tell you, when you see this little thing, it really does look like what we picture aliens to be. The eyes, the head shape, and the texture of its body. It was all very alien-like. But get this, its lower body looked human. Some people were saying it might be a human-alien mix created through genetic stuff. Well, given all the wild things happening nowadays, genetic experiments aren't that far-fetched. So rather it was some kind of experiment gone wrong or whatever else, one thing's for sure, they totally didn't get it right this time. Woody Encounter. Ever stumbled upon something spooky while wandering through the woods? Well, this guy sure did. While casually walking through a forest, he unknowingly captured something bizarre on camera. At the end of his footage, a strange lizard-like creature emerged from a tree stump. And the cameraman's reaction said it all. He was freaked out. Some netizens believed it was a lizard monster, but the skeptics were not buying it. They said it was probably just a kind of lizard or maybe even a strange-looking piece of driftwood. And experts supported this by explaining that with all the clutter in the forest, it's easy to confuse something normal for something exceptional. Poong. In a forest in Indonesia, some locals witnessed a horrifying sight. The video captured what seemed to be a man wrapped in cloth, standing eerily still and unresponsive. The people's voices sounded amazed and worried as they realized the figure was a Poong. After some digging, it turns out this was a common belief in Indonesian culture. A Poong is said to be the soul of the deceased person trapped in their shroud. Over time, their appearance becomes more skeletal, much like the figure in this video. So could this really be a Poong? Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, it was a chilling reminder of the mysteries that hide in the shadows. Nightcrawler. Late at night, the weirdest stuff happens, and it's no different here. A video captured from a security camera showed a really strange and spooky scene. This camera was meant to keep an eye on a house, but instead it captured something really weird. A strange humanoid figure with glowing eyes strolled down the path, and then it does something totally bizarre. It plopped down on its stomach, then kind of pushed up with its hands, and those freaky glowing eyes reappeared. The way it moved, its hunched posture, and those eyes were not normal. It looked like a person, but the behavior was just so odd. Could it be human? Maybe one seriously messed up on stuff. Campfire Encounter. The forest is full of watchful eyes, and these guys were staring right into one of them. It all started when a group of friends decided to go camping in the middle of the woods, not expecting to witness a scene like a horror movie. But late at night, one of them woke up to a weird sound outside the camp. He grabbed his camera to investigate. At first, the footage showed nothing but trees and darkness. But just as the video ended, a large figure appeared on the screen. The clip cut off abruptly, leaving us to wonder what happened next. The creature had whitish skin, a slender body, and no visible eyes or human features. It might be a person in a costume, but you never know with these things. Stalking Shadows. A man was walking around the woods, recording his surroundings, but something was off. In a distant tree right in front of him, a creature appeared to be stalking him. The video was a bit shaky, and we couldn't fully distinguish its facial features. Only its upper body could be seen, and it looked like it was covered in an oversized hoodie. To some, it could be a bear peeping at him, but that was an odd behavior for a bear, while the majority of netizens preferred calling it a Bigfoot stalking him. And the most interesting part of this video, the guy didn't panic or the creepy creature. Feather Oddity. Seeing is believing, but sometimes our eyes can deceive us. This video presented a strikingly unusual sight, a creature that defied natural biology. It was held to its wings by a man. At first glance, it looked like a chicken, but with the head of a monkey. Naturally, this bizarre creature attracted immediate skepticism. Was it a product of clever editing, or perhaps just a chicken wearing a mask? Both explanations seemed logical, while some even said it was a hybrid created by some mad scientist in the dark labs. While this idea may sound exciting, according to the experts, it's pretty impossible, as it deviates from biology and genetics too much. So what do you think it might be? Share your thoughts down below. One-eyed wonder. Ever seen something that looks out of the Pokemon world? In this footage, a fisherman shared his incredible find, a turtle with a single right eye in the middle of its head. As he gently turned it around, we could see its shell, just like any other turtle, but that single eye made it truly unique. After some digging, it turns out that the condition was cyclopia, a rare condition where a creature is born with just one eye due to improper eye division before birth. So what we're seeing here wasn't just a pocket monster, it was a real creature with a rare condition. Strange blend. The unsettling video from Sarawak, Malaysia got people talking and worrying. It was filmed by some farmers who found a strange creature in their fields. It was nothing like anything you've ever seen before. It was a weird blend of a hippo and a dog. It was moving in a really strange way, like it was struggling to walk properly, almost crawling instead of using its legs. It seemed like it might have some serious birth defects. Well, I'm no expert, but it was obvious that this critter had some unique challenges. The big question is what the creature actually was. If you've got any ideas, drop them in the comments below. Mystifying creature. This next clip from Muzaffarpur, India, captured a truly bizarre sight. A giant rat-like creature that left locals baffled. The footage, recorded in a glass-working shop, revealed a weird creature resembling a large rat skulking around. With its hairless body and pitch-black eyes, it moved with eerie agility, effortlessly climbing shelves. Its long neck and elongated body added to its unusual appearance. Some liken it to a mutated version of the legendary Chupacabra, while others drew comparisons to the Demogorgon from Stranger Things. Though the idea of it hailing from a parallel dimension seemed far-fetched, strange sightings often lead to stranger speculations. Now it's time for an open discussion. While cruising through Montana on a road trip, this guy pulled over to take a breather on the side of the road. As he was chilling out, he heard a weird humming noise coming from the woods, which totally caught his attention. He went a bit into the woods to find the source, but immediately regretted it. A creepy figure suddenly appeared and started chasing him. Scared out of his wits, he stopped filming and ran for his life. Now, the question is, what was that thing? Was it a skinwalker or something like that? Unfortunately, to this day, no one knows what that thing was and why it looks so aggressive. Sometimes it's best to leave mysteries unsolved and paths unexplored. Thank you very much for watching the video. Share in the comments and do like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.